switching from Zoom to YouTube. And it's preparing that live stream. Seems a little slow. That Zoom API to YouTube comes in. Make sure it's off and it's in. Okay, perfect. The meeting is live. All right, questions before we begin? Spencer, do you want to be so kind and check the chat? Do you mind, Spencer?
Yeah, I can do it.
Thank you so much. So Spencer, you were there the last time for personal AI?
Yeah.
So what are your impressions? The idea is they're not here, so, and I have no vested interest in the company. What do you think? What were your impressions?
It was a little bit confusing at first. And it was also really slow. But then once that crash went away, then it was easier to use.
Yeah, you can see their beginning.
So.
Great, Spencer. You can see there in the beginning. I don't think they were used to having so many people hit the server at one time, since they're a young company. What else?
I thought it was cool how you could kind of create your own personal AI. So including all information about yourself, and then your personal AI would pick up on that. So then you don't have to answer questions a million times over and over again. So
we'll see whether the devil is in the detail. So one of the things that I thought about is once we get this set, they're going to upgrade us, Spencer, to their premium account. Supposedly, Spencer, it's supposed to be quicker. Whether it is or not is another question. And then for an assignment, I'm going to put it together. They got all of our emails, but it turns out that not everyone either signed in or they signed in not with their miami.edu account. So we're going to need to get everybody's email, make sure everybody got their email to be done. And then what'll be interesting, Spencer, is the devil is in the detail. I think when you try it out on your own, then you can see and you can evaluate to see what the future is. They're called, an LLM is a large language model, something like ChatGPT or Bard, Google Bard. Theirs is a small language model or a personal language model. So they're using, they don't need a server as the memory is large, but their issue is, and then you can put in your own data. But it'll be interesting to see. So let me just talk about a couple of things. Today, we're going to have, so I created an academic, Spencer, I created an academic relationship with personal AI where they're going to upgrade our personal AI, where they're premium and supposedly they're going to give us support. And Wix, which is the website creator, they also have an academic relationship with me, and they're going to upgrade us to their business version. So they're supposed to come today. And if you guys look to see, her name is Ellery, she's supposed to come today. So let me just do a couple of housekeeping with you of what's due. Next week, I'd like quiz chapter 12, business analytics, to be done. And the Wiley Plus adaptive assignment, chapter 2, business analytics. And then for next week, we're going to get everyone should have had my approval. If you haven't had my approval on your project, what I'd like to do next Monday is everyone submitting their group project, a draft of your Wix. And the draft of the Wix will be not the business version, we'll be using the free version. And in using the free version, I'd like you to create a subfolder titled with your project's name and publish it with the Wix website using the free version. Start off small. The one thing that you need to do is have a logo or a slogan for your homepage. Create a team page with each member in your group, the role in your company, education and headshot, an upcoming events page. If it fits into the theme, some short videos, start your plans and pricing page. If it's going to be free, if you're going to be charging, there's a free version, a 1 month version, a premium, and a potential sponsors page. And also, I'd like you to start thinking about a free domain name. And in that free domain name, these are domain names with these extensions that you can look at. So start doing this. Once you have the free domain names, then you can even start doing the next section is part of the site. Then is I want you to add then 3 social media platforms. So you can choose the social media platforms. You can start posting. You can add the handles. Then in your group project, you can follow each other. Yes.
Professor, I have a question. So you said last week that the Wix website was due Wednesday, but
I'm
are you pushing
extending
it
it.
back?
I'm pushing it back.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You know what I mean? So that you can start it, but I'm pushing it back so you can have it. I think it's a better idea. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So this way we can start having it well. And do me a favor is see if we should do it on participants here. Is hopefully we can see whether let me know if Ellery.
I'm here, Professor.
Oh, you're here already.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Great. So let me finish up, Ellery, what I want them to do, and then you can see when I'm telling them what to do, you can go over it perfectly with me. So what I'm having them do is, let me just let you know, Ellery, and I'll introduce you to the group. But basically, for next Monday, I want them to do a draft using the free version. And in that, I want them to come up with some slogan. I want them to use also, Ellery, if you can think about it, use already a site, a pre-made site. Today, Ellery, I don't need you to go into so much how to make it pretty and things like that. Just go into kind of like the basics of it. I'd also, if they want a team page where they're going to add their headshots and also what is their role in the company and a little bit about themselves, their role in the company, and to make it realistic, that they're not going to hide that they're students in the university, but they're also not going to make it, this is a BTE 210 project, but rather it's their company's project, to make it professional. Then I wanted them, if it's useful, to add then a short video, start putting in some videos, their plans and pricing page, potential sponsors page. And then after they do the free version, to think about their domain names. Let me ask you, Ellery, this is what I've had before in the previous year. Have the extensions changed anything of what when we do a free version?
No.
So they're the same. So they can think about it. So sometimes, this is great. Then we can have these extensions that they can put along then the following week, and then they can work on these both hand in hand. Is I want them to create 3 social media platforms. You can show them how to do it and make sure that the links are working. I want them to post as often as possible and add those. Follow the groups, follow each other at least, and at least those in the class in their group themselves follow each other, so at least they have that. And then once I approve this for next week on the Monday, then only do I want, and I approve it, then only then do I want them to upgrade. And is it called Business Basic?
Of business, core lighter business,
What's it called that we're going to get? Ellery?
business.
It's not basic. It's just
No.
business?
Yeah.
Okay. They keep on changing.
Yeah, it updated this year.
Okay. So in that case, it's called just business, not business basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I'll change that to business, create a domain name, complete the get found. So you can show them how to get found on Google, the SEO steps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe also, even if there's somewhere there that they have a link that they can go to, about us page, a booking page, and the Zoom integration. And I think those are the steps that you're going to cover anyways tonight, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So these are the ways. So I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. And I'll introduce the class. We're recording. I'll introduce the class to Ellery. And we are just so pleased that you graciously, number one, have come to us, taken your busy time out and giving us a live presentation. And number two, that you graciously are going to give us an upgrade with our academic partnership. Okay,
Yes.
Ellery. So how do you want to do that? You can take on sharing your screen. So everyone, you can see here, we'll have the slides here shown. This is a part that we'll upload to Blackboard. So you can go over it. But basically, Ellery then is not going to go through each slide since we're limited in time, but rather the important points that we cover. Basically, I would start, Ellery, starting like every student would start from the beginning and emphasize how do they get each person in their group to share roles, basically making each person an owner of the group and what they need to do in order to sign up. And do they have to sign up with their credit card, Ellery, when it's free?
Yeah, so in order to use the code later on, it's going to ask in the payments portion for a card. So just make sure there is an FAQ section that lets you know how to remove an annual renewal. So when you finish the class, you can just take it off.
So this is going to be good for how long? When they sign
It's good for a year.
Oh, a year from today.
Yes.
So
From the
even
day that
though
they
it
from
will
the
even
day that they
last
from the
if
day that they
even-
activate it.
once they
So
activate it. So when they upgrade that day that they activate it, that will be the beginning. So possibly
yes.
they could even use it for, if they think that that's a great website, they could possibly use it for next semester in a job interview. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, you can use it in your next
Right. And if they want to, you'll show them basically, we don't want them after a year, or they can choose even after the end of the semester to end that. But they can always
I usually tell students, if you're not going to need it after the class, go ahead and you can remove it. You could end the premium so you don't get charged.
but they
and
can
remove
still
the
have their
auto-renewal.
website.
Yeah, your site will still be alive. It'll just be using the free URL, and I'll show you what that looks like.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So
all right. So let's go ahead and get started.
Let's get started. Thank you, Ellery.
Thank you for having me again. I look forward to seeing all your amazing projects. So just like Professor Rushnick mentioned, we'll be going over a little bit about planning your site, creating your faux company, showing you a little bit about how to use and create and add search engine optimization to your site so you can be found. We've partnered with Google, so you'll be able to use the creation of tags and content in order to create SEO. We'll talk a little bit about adding a bookings page to your website, and also how you can include Zoom, how you integrate it. I'll show you how you can add contributors so that as you get together with your group projects and you start making these, you'll be able to assign everyone access, as well as even talk a little bit about creating a branded app. So an option that you can do in your class. All right, so what I've added in here is a deck with many slides just to walk you through the process for many of you who aren't familiar with Wix. What I'll be skipping through is just different use cases. These are some classes that Professor Rushnick had in the past, and so you can kind of see an example of what that looks like. Feel free to look at it on your own, go through them. Again, this deck is going to be provided in your Blackboard. You should have access to it already. It's been sent over. And so from there, you can kind of see what other sites and projects students have made along for the professor. And then I've also added a few different templates. The best thing about Wix is that it is the largest website building platform out there. You have over 900 templates to choose from. They've already been curated, designed by our professional in-house developers. So feel free to dive in and see the different kinds of templates that you'll be able to use for your projects today, for your course. And then as we go into that, I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So when you get started with your process, you'll have access to all these templates. You'll notice that you have a nice variety of categories to choose from, really all depending on what your project is. So if you'd like, we can get started by hearing a few projects and we can do an example today really quick. Feel free to type it in the chat if you have a group project and you know what kind of site you want to build. Let's choose a sample and we can build something today in the next 15 minutes. So if you have something that you already know you're making, go ahead and type it in the chat. Or feel free to unmute. We'll use that as an example. But as you go through that and you're typing away, let's take a look at some of these templates. So for example, if you were to make, I don't know, let's do a beauty and wellness business. Maybe you are going to be selling a variety of wellness items. You can preview any template by clicking on the view button. This gives you an opportunity to preview just that, what it is that you are going to be creating, the template,
Someone was,
all of its
Ellery,
features.
someone was
Yes.
going to be a consulting doing with Excel. They were going to be
A consulting
Excel
organization.
co-pilot consulting group, looking at the AI features for Excel. Other
Okay,
ones
great.
we're going to do like mental health, using AI in mental health.
Okay, great. So in this example, you'll notice that it's a product store, an e-commerce store. There's a nice different sections of categories of what they'll be selling. They have an about me section. They have a contact section, all the different things that you'll be adding into your particular store. And you can even add all your different members in here as well.
And
I'll
of
show you how to
course,
add that.
anything in the template, they have to make sure that they edit it according to.
Yeah, this is a nice
Their
template,
product.
a nice preview of what it could look like. All of your templates are set up to be viewed on a mobile device.
That's
So you
good.
can also preview all of these different sections if you wanted to. And then if you wanted to choose this template to edit, you just click edit this site. So let's do a nice consulting one like you mentioned. We can put it here under the search bar on the top right-hand corner. And if I wanted to have a business consulting site, I can choose, let's do this example that we have in the deck. Again, you can preview the sections. You'll be able to preview each of the call to action buttons. She mentioned something about having sponsors. So maybe you have clients or sponsors. You can have testimonials in here. Just kind of preview all the different sections and see if you like it, if that's what you want to have for your particular project. And you'll be able to see all the different offerings that are a part of this. So for example, if you're bookings and you're creating consultations, you're going to need to create what kinds of consultations. Do you want to have a free session? Do you want to have a calendar so that your visitor can come in
So
and
how
book
could you make a free
one of those
session?
dates? Yeah, I'll be able to show you that. We're going
Right.
through the template itself. So if we want to choose this one to edit, we can go ahead and click edit the site. Wix will open it up, start building up all these different features that are added as a part of the template. And from here, it'll start taking you to the Canvas tool where you'll be able to start doing just that, editing it, making it unique to your page and making it unique to what the business is that you're trying to build. Okay, any questions so far?
So if a student was starting, so one student starts it, is that correct?
Yes.
And if they have 3 other students in the group, the first student that starts it, how do they get the other 3 involved in it?
Okay, great. So once you decide who's going to be in the group, you'll need to decide who's going to be your super user. That super user is going to be allowing everyone in the group to have access to the site, and then you can divide and conquer and see who's going to be editing what section.
Right.
So if we click here on the Wix dashboard, okay, you're going to be able to, let's do this after. You'll be able to go in here and start editing. Just save this. Save my site here. Sorry about that.
So we
You'll
go to
be
the
able to go to
dashboard.
your dashboard. The back end tool, your dashboard, is how you manage your site and how you'll be able to add a nice variety of features. And so, for example, here we can go to our settings on the bottom.
So go to
and
settings,
You click on roles and permission.
which makes sense, roles and permissions.
And this is where you're going to start adding all your team members.
Okay,
They're going to be called collaborators. You're going to make everyone an admin or co-owner, and then
okay,
you just add their emails.
okay. So it's
So-
just like we had in Blackboard on the audit section where they were promoted to teaching assistants. Here, they're
Mhm.
gonna be, each person is gonna be an admin and
Collaborator.
a co-owner, but there's gonna be one person that is on the top of the first one that creates it. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And they-
you have your
but they
one
are inviting
person
others.
that's going to be managing it. So if we had, let's see, we have Aiden, he's going to have his group of 4 people. They
Right.
decide he's going to be the super user. He'll log in, create the account, and then he'll send everyone an email and make them co-owners, and that email will give them access to start working on the website. And then you decide, hey, you're going to be doing the About Me page. You're going to be doing the bookings for the consultations, for example,
Mhm.
and so forth. The only caveat is that it's not like a Google document where you can work on it simultaneously and make edits. You do have to set times apart that you're going to be working on it. So if Aiden works on it one day and Catherine works on it another, Lena's going to work on it on another day or at another time, but just not at the same time, because then your
Okay.
edits and changes will not save.
Okay, but the students could, for instance, open up a Zoom meeting
Oh,
and
yeah.
one person sharing it, and so we could have 2 people then working on it at the same. One does the editing, the other one can tell them what to put in. Perfect.
Absolutely. I mean, you're studying differently. You're studying online. So nowadays you have Zoom and you
Right.
can work on that project together and
Right,
share a
so they can
screen.
work on it, and it'd be even nice that each group then could record their meetings on Zoom, and they could add then those URLs to their documentation. What I like about
Absolutely.
that, Ellery, is that when you say, once we are going to be doing project evaluations, when somebody says, oh, somebody says they were never in the group meetings, they have documentation on it, or they can show that, yes, I was involved. Perfect.
Great. So now that you've chosen a template and you're going to be editing it, the different sections that she wanted me to share with you is, okay, great. Now we have our template, we have our group, we've added our collaborators. What are the different sections that we need? And so to make the edits and to make changes to your template and your site, you'll have these buttons here on the left. And so you can add elements in here. In the elements, these are the different tools that you could be using. So for example, you can add images, you can add buttons, you can add sections through strips. Something that she wanted you to have was maybe including a video. So you can add video. You can add a strip of videos. You can add a collage of videos, totally up to you. You wanted it to be music, you can include music as well. If you are looking at adding a socials, something that she mentioned, like, hey, let's have our visitors go to a fake Instagram or a fake Twitter.
Yeah.
You can easily go on ahead and say, you know what, I want to add my social accounts here in the front so that my visitors will be able to follow me and they'll be able to have access to that. You can easily just add it. You can look at your template and say, you know what, my socials are already on the footer, so I'm just going to add to these. You can easily click on the social element and start adding the different links that you want to include. So for example, if I go here to add icons, I can say I want to include an Instagram. I'll do a search for it. And now I just add the URL. And just like
Once
that,
they
I've
set up their
added it.
account for their project, yeah.
So now you've included your URL and they'll have access to that. If, for example, you don't want to have a Facebook and you want to keep Twitter, or maybe you want to have, let's see, a Behance account, you could do that and you can add your URL here and connect it. Okay, so just like that, you can either add socials, okay, to where it's listed in your template. For example, this is on the footer.
Mhm.
Or you can easily go to your add element button and then just include your social bar if you wanted it to be in a specific place on your page, and then add the URLs. Great. Something else that you can easily include, for example, this specific template is a consulting company, so we know that bookings is already included as a part of it. And so you can start managing the different bookings. Let's go here. We'll navigate here to the pages button. This lets you go to the different pages here. You can manage the services through here on the back end. Okay. And say, hey, I want my first service consultation to be free, like she was saying. You can change, add pricing, remove it, not have it. You click on the floating menu that says managing services. And then from here, you can start editing what those services could look like. You can,
And do you have something like an AI inside that you could try out as well?
there's different buttons for AI, but
AI.
not for
Okay, but
consulting.
and if I
That's
wanted to
something
make
different.
right, and if I wanted to make this free, one of these free,
Yeah, you can edit one that's already pre-made in there. You can choose the kind of booking appointment that you're making. So let's just say I do a virtual consultation.
right?
You can edit the image. You can make it free.
Yeah.
And so in here, you can make those descriptions and those requirements, or you can do it so that it's free and you don't have to have a price in here.
Oh, so you just do
You can
free. And
easily edit.
I would suggest for a number of you is make some of the consultations free. So once you get a free and you get a following, or you do a free meeting, have them, I would suggest doing it free. And once you get a group, then you can get, potential sponsors once they see there's a group coming. I like
Yeah.
that.
So you'll notice she asked, hey, what can I add in here to use AI in? And you'll always see these little star-like icons. So if you needed help with a description, you could put in what kind of consultation it is, and it can come up with a blurb for you. And you can edit it if you wanted to, but totally up to you if that's something that you want to include.
So that's new that they've added, no?
Yeah, I mean, we've always had AI. It's just because of the summer.
You haven't put it up front. It was either like one or the other. Yeah. You put it in a different format.
Yeah. So now, with the craze of the summer,
yeah,
it's just, they changed what it looks like. Okay, great. So this is our free consultation that we just made. And if I were to click preview, any changes that you make, any edit, you click the preview button on the top right-hand corner. And you'll be able to see what this looks like. And your visitor will be able to choose a calendar date, a time. They can even book it and add it. Just remember that it's always going to say, hey, this is not going to collect a payment. So if you wanted to collect a payment, you'll need her to upgrade. So that's what these messages here are.
Right, so
about.
then when they're ready, so they could do the bookings first. And the paid ones, they would then worry about that when they upgrade to the paid version of the free coupon that we had, yeah.
Yeah, and then from here, like let's say you had 3 people that were consulting, you can even
Right.
manage staff. So totally up to you and what you end up making with your project. So I'll just go back here back to editor. You can go and create as much as you can. You don't have to worry so much about upgrading until the very end, which is what she's having me do. All right, great. So again, you can navigate your pages through this button here on the left. She mentioned, hey, I have this group and I want to go to the About Me page. I also want to include my different team members in here. You'll notice some templates will have a team section already. Okay, let's just say this section didn't exist. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And I'm going to add this into my page now. I'm going to go here to my add section, which is a shortcut. And I'm going to say, you know what, I want to include my team. Maybe this template doesn't have it, or maybe I don't like the way that it's set up. And now I can just easily drag and drop my team members. And now I can edit individually. You can manage your items and manage your pictures and what their roles are. You can start editing that.
Right.
Okay.
And with my team, I'd like them to have a description, not only just say art director or, tech lead, but rather what their role in the company is and a little bit about their background. They're also a finance major at the university, something like that.
Yeah, so you can go in here and say, if I need to make my team description a little bit meatier, like which option is better for me, right? One that has more of a description, just like she mentioned. And so now you have an option of choosing something different.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so now we talked about role in the company, your About Me, your team page. For bookings and what do you need to do? For example, if you wanted to make it a virtual link and adding a Zoom, let's go back in here into our bookings page and let's show you how to make that and to integrate, for example, Zoom, which is part of that project that she's creating for you. All right, so in here, we'll go back to managing the service and let's make it a virtual item. Okay, I'll go ahead and refresh my page here. Any questions so far? I'm not sure how many people have used Wix before or if they're familiar with building a site.
I think most people have not, so this will be new. And then basically, then they can divide it up or they can work together as a team or 2 to a team, and they can use something like Zoom to work together, where one person is doing the typing, or one can share the screen.
Is there a certain template you want us to be using for the
Pardon?
project? Is there a certain template you want us to
No,
use?
that's up to you, Andrew. But but what I would do, Andrew, is don't waste your time in creating a new one. Use a template and just modify it. So just have you go through it. And for instance, if you're doing consulting or other ones, you're doing health, use their products. They've gotten already designers. Let's take professional designers to create these templates. And the only thing is, Andrew, is make sure that you put in your information and make sure all the links are working. But yeah, that's the beauty. And each group is different, so you can, and some people have a better eye than others on those. Yeah.
All right, so let's make our virtual consultation again. Let's edit this one.
And that really fits in today's market as a virtual consultation rather than physically somebody coming in.
I want to go in here to where your video conferencing is right here.
Yes.
And you can add and integrate You
Oh,
can
that's
either
perfect.
use, yeah, like not everybody uses Zoom, but
Yeah, but let's say in
for
our
this
class we are.
class, we
Yeah.
are. So you're going to want to create your own Zoom account, not the
So
school
that
one.
came from where? Can you repeat that, where that came from?
Yes, it's going to ask you, hey, how do you want to make this? Do you want to add
Under
video
okay, under
conferencing?
under virtual
locations.
consultation, under locations, you want a video conferencing. Perfect. And
Yeah.
then the only thing I want to emphasize to the class is we cannot use our zoom.miami.edu account because we are not the administrators. So in practicing with the Zoom, you'll have to create a free version of Zoom and use that. Everybody understand? So did you understand that, Spencer? That you can't use my University of Miami's Zoom account because we're not the administrators. So everybody needs to take their free version, just create a free version of Zoom, and then you'll then be able to integrate. Yes.
But once you create it, you just connect it and you'll be able to manage that calendar and add the link.
So it's like Blackboard and Zoom when we record live to YouTube. This is taking Wix and Zoom. They have an API together. Perfect. And that's what's nice about it, is that it's already sophisticated. You're already having your potential clients get to see a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, perfect. So from here, we've pretty much done each section. I'm going to go here on the back end and show you how easily you can add search engine optimization, which is something your professor was talking about.
Right.
We've partnered with Google. And so if you want to learn how you can use organic tags that you can create for your site, and really any part of your site, this example that we're going to go through, you go to your marketing in your dashboard and you just answer a few questions. You can create those different taglines. You have up to 5 keywords that you can create so that you can be found on Google. So
what's nice is what I require for everybody to do is an SEO journey, and you don't have to write any of the code. You just follow their prompts. Like, what is this business's brand name?
So my company site is this, and maybe I want to be, worldwide. I want to reach even over to London. And then this is where you create those keywords. So I would put Professor Rush. What was my business consulting? We'll just call it business consulting company. You can even put UN. So you just create those 5 tags. You don't want to make it too broad. You have the examples in here. You don't want to make it too large, very specific to your site.
So they give you the good examples and the bad examples, right?
Absolutely.
For tags, right?
Yes. And then you just finish setting up your page. We haven't really finished. And then from there, you'll be able to connect it to Google. And now you'll be able to find it. You can add SEO to anything, whether it's appointments, maybe you add a blog, maybe to each team member. It just depends on what you want to do. But that's how easily you can create SEO for your page, and you can manage that on the back end. Let's see, what else did you want to see? We can also create an app for our site. So for example, let's just say I wanted to make a mobile app. I've made my website. I also want to have my own mobile app for my business. You'll notice if you go here under site and mobile app, you'll be able to make all those edits and adjustments. You can even get a QR code to see what it looks like for free. You don't have to worry about making that final step where you pay for it to be on iOS or on the other kinds of what is that, Android market. You don't have to worry about that. But you can at least build it out and with a QR code show it and showcase it when you do present it.
So this is another Wix product, your mobile app.
Yeah, and you'll be able to view it. So you'll see how you view your mobile device. As you're building your site, you can make the edit of what your app would look like. So you can click on Edit Mobile App, and it'll walk you through that process. And you'll be able to see live what it looks like. If you made a logo, if you gave it a name, and then the different bookings that you created for this particular kind of
So
page.
that's an option. If groups want to add that, you can add then, even though Wix, the website, it will look good on mobile, it actually then can create a mobile app without coding.
Absolutely. And again, you can make as many sites as you want. The platform itself is based off of a freemium model. So just keep in mind, if you started on something on a template and you're not happy with it, you can always create a new site. You don't have to stick with it.
So the
if you're
mobile
not happy.
app, does it matter? Is that going to be attached to a domain name? No. So that won't
It's
matter.
attached to your free account.
Just to a
Yeah.
free account. So if they upgrade to a paid account, will the
Mhm.
mobile app be attached to that, or no? It will just be attached to their free account.
It's attached to your site. So if you upgrade, then it'll be to the website with the domain. If it's free, then it'll go back to the free domain.
Okay.
Okay, great. So you can always preview your site, take a look at all the changes that you've made, and be able to see what it looks like as you're going through that process. Again, you're going to be able to see all the different changes you've made. I think, what did we make? We made services so far for
Right.
this session.
Right.
And then you'll be able to see that. What did I add? I think I added a social here in the front. Let's see here.
And
Go
where
back
it
to
says
the
on
homepage.
paragraph, you would just edit that part.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
And
Playing around with
in
it.
order for them, for the following Monday, when they need to do their first draft, they need to publish. You want to show them they need to publish their URL so everyone in the class can see their site. So you want to
Let's
show
go
them how
in
to do
here.
that?
Yeah, let's go in here. Open up my page again, and I'll save it so you can see what it looks like. You'll have your free URL. So you click save on the top right-hand corner,
Right.
and it's going to ask you, okay, great, this is your URL. Would you like to rename it? All your free sites are going to have your email handle .wixsite.com, and then you can edit this. So Professor
Well, I think it'd be better consulting, yes. So when you edit it, everybody should edit their free site and put a description of what you're doing. For instance, X Copilot, Excel, or mental health, or something like that. Right.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what that looks like. When I click done here, preview this. And your free site is going to have this banner here up at the top.
So it will have Wix. Your free site will have Wix, your advertising Wix, right?
Mm-hmm. And then from here, she mentioned, okay, great, you created your site, you added XYZ, you did this to your project. The last part of the project is to launch your official company domain and add your code. And so you just click publish.
So publish right now. Yeah, click on publish, see what we get.
We're going to click publish. And just like that, in seconds, your site's live. Let's take a look at it.
So this URL right there, it has Wix site. It will have Wix site in the URL for the free version. Everyone needs to publish their first version, or what I call their draft version, their free version in their project. So everyone can then just click on it and see what your website is. I can make comments. Other people in your group can make comments. I can tell the class, this is what I really like. You see how they have like James Consulting here, or James Consulting needs to be, Rush's Consulting, that needs to be edited, and you'll be able to check it out.
You can see any element that you click on, you'll have a floating menu to make those changes. So,
right.
Professor Rush Business Consulting.
Perfect. So you can see that needs to be done, right?
And then
when you have the sponsors, I'd like you to say potential sponsors rather than this is going to be something that's real, that you'll be able to see, that it won't be fake, that you're just not going to make up, I have Amazon and Microsoft as my sponsors, but maybe the potential sponsors, or maybe have somebody local or the universities to be my potential sponsors. Good.
Please note any changes that you make as you're going through the editing process. Always publish it so that it can be live. If you
Yes.
don't publish it, then it won't go live. And so I'm going to go ahead and go back in here.
So that's important for everybody to know, that it needs to be published.
You can always save it. And then you can always publish. And then be able to view those changes. Okay. Besides that, I think we hit each one. That's
Oh,
pretty-
the only
pretty
thing I
quick.
wanted to show you is the upgrade. I wanted to see how in the
yes.
pricing that's going to be.
So let's go here in our deck. What you'll have is a code. And now all these steps, I've added them in the deck for you to go through on your own.
Okay.
You'll have access to the business
Full
option.
year premium for free. Wow, business.
Yes.
Use this code. Okay, great.
And
So we're going to get we suggest everybody get the business. Even though we can get the core and the light, I want everybody to get the business, because in the business, I get 10 collaborators. I have 100 megabyte.
So let's click on compare
Yeah.
plans. You're going to be choosing the business option. It'll always come up as free for a year, and you can compare the plans and see all the different
Right. So our 30, perfect.
items that you get. A lot of memory, a lot more memory. And when you
And the
select
free
it,
domain name. Right.
you'll have this here for a year.
Now let's think
And-
about when we upgrade, think about how we're going to do the checkout.
Yes, so it'll ask you for a card, but you're going to want to enter your promo code
And I'll give
here.
that to the students. I'll give you a promo code. I don't want anyone to pay for this. You understand? And it's important for you to put in the promo code and make sure it says 0. If it doesn't say 0, you don't continue.
Yes.
Right.
You apply it, and like she said, you want it to say 0. And when you complete your course, just remember to deactivate it so that you don't
And
worry
where's the
about.
activation where I can say?
So
yeah,
here, you have it in your FAQ question. You're going to go to where it says turn off renewal.
perfect.
It's going to tell you, you go to your premium subscriptions. And you're going to remove it. So for example, mine doesn't really have one, but if I did, I would
Right.
just go ahead and say cancel.
Okay. But it
Okay.
will cancel at the end, right?
Yeah, you decide when, just know you have a year to do it.
Okay.
I would recommend try to do it when you finish your classes.
Yeah, when you finish the semester, right? When the grade is in, then you can, and then you can do premium plan and remove auto renewal.
Yeah, and if you have any questions on anything, you don't necessarily have to ask Professor Rush, you can. But if you want to know how to do something or add something, you can always go to the Wix support page. And then
Right.
if you want to learn how to use a tool more, you can go to Wix Learn, which is a video library where you can do several tools out of Wix. I did add a link in here if you want to learn more about search engine optimization. And if you wanted to learn more about building a e-commerce store, we have like a little virtual school that you can
Yeah,
do.
I like that.
for
Can
free
you
if
go
want
back
to.
one, Hillary? I like this. So students can really have this as part of their toolkit too. Especially if you're in marketing and others, you want to then basically say, hey, I know SEO, search engine optimization tools. And then if you click on Wix SEO overview, what happens when you click there?
This is the link that takes you to the
Okay.
website.
Perfect.
Yeah. So then pretty much that's the system in itself. Good luck on your projects. I look forward to seeing some of them, Professor Rush.
Yeah, well, the best ones, maybe you can hire them as ambassadors. You know, we have
Yeah,
a
hopefully we'll
personal
have our
AI.
ambassador program one day.
Yeah, well, you remember we talked about that. I think it'd be
Yeah.
a great idea, you know, of you taking them and continuing with them, you know, and they basically, that's how you can get them out, because when the students graduate, basically they can do that as part-time, because they can do it anywhere, or they can do it as part of their jobs, you know?
Yeah.
And,
Thank you
and
so much for having me.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. We really appreciate, especially the upgrade and you coming out and seeing it. We'll share with you what we've done. Even in the past, I remember they used to even give certificates. Remember? I think before you came, they were
Yeah.
giving, if they were giving certificates, but I think they took that away.
Yeah, we're trying to work on our own certification, our micro badge. So we're working on that. More to
Yeah,
come.
that'd be great. That something like that, they can put it already on. Who they can have already have, and within it, they could have like a SEO.
We have under Wix Learn, if anyone wants to certify. Let me just share my screen again here. You'll be able to go to Wix Learn and actually certify in a few things. If you click on the certification section, I know SEO is something that they're working on. They've been working on it for a while, the SEO team. But in here, you at least can get started on maybe choosing Velo if you're interested in coding and developing.
See here coming
And-
soon, SEO coming soon.
Yeah,
Because
and
you can tell them,
website
I think that'd be
accessibility.
great as a SEO specialist even, you know, people
Yeah.
can be.
The team's been working on that for quite some time, so we're waiting to get that out.
And what is the accessibility?
That's when you learn to build sites that are for visually impaired or
Right,
hearing
that's perfect.
impaired. So be
That-
able to
that's
get
useful
certified in
too.
that. Yeah,
Okay, it's already there, certificate. And is that free or do I
these
have to
are
pay?
these are free
Okay.
for students. So something good to add to your resume if that's the area you want to go into.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank
perfect.
you. Have a great evening. Good luck, everyone.
thank you. Thank you, Eller.
Bye.
Thanks. Okay, we're having all these folks. So, you know, I like free. We got that as well. I would like the groups to have that available, your URL published already on your site. Also, let me share with you a couple of things. That you can,
Professor Rush,
yeah.
you didn't release the Wiley Plus.
Oh, okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Extra credit. Okay, so this is, you can just see here on the what's due. I'll do that just right now. Thank you. Extra credit. Who said that? Pavel, did you say that?
Yeah.
Great. Extra credit,
Thank
Pavel.
you.
Okay, when you correct me, you get extra credit. Did you hear that, Pavel? Everybody in the class. Okay, you have here, here's the Wix. All her parts. What else I wanted to do, let me just do that right now. Wiley Plus. Let's go to edit mode. Make available. You tell me, Pavel, if you see it.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Perfect. And let's see if there's the right date. So if I say open assignment, we always want to catch ourselves, right, Pavel? We're together as a team here, and it says one due date. Let's just check if it's the right due date. And if I can look at it, available Monday, November 13th. Perfect. And is the other one available, Pavel? My regular. Let's look at that too. Quizzes should be chapter 12. Next due November 13th. At 3:30, right? Perfect. Okay. Let me just show you what else is under web links. So this is on what's due. You can see here on my, let me just make this off so you can see what I say. We have then chapter 12, the Wiley Plus, submitting what I said. Make sure you publish it, create, and begin thinking of the domain names. I also have under web links, under personal AI slides, these are the slides from last week's presentation by the CEO of Personal AI going through this. I'm having Dylan send out an email to some of you because Personal AI folks are upgrading us also to their premium version. But when they were looking at their site, some students either didn't sign up or signed up with another URL. So Dylan, what are you going to be sending out to everybody in this class, those students in the class? What will you be sending out?
I'll have like a spreadsheet sent out to specific people where they can like input their email that they used for it, or if they haven't made an account yet, they can put in whatever the email they use.
Okay. So this way we'll have everybody have an upgraded account. And then Spencer, what we'll try to do is we'll try to do an assignment where we'll try to do an upgraded account where we'll do basically almost like a simulation that somebody can hire us and give a background of us. So here you also have all their slides. Okay. So I've done that. We have our assignment for Wednesday. For Monday. On Wednesday, I'll go over your projects more in detail. Those of you that can, start doing your projects already so I can give you some feedback. On the following Monday, it's a requirement for everyone to have done their first draft. I'll give you feedback on that. And then you can correct whatever you have, and then you can upgrade to the next part. Let me do attendance now. Let me do the attendance. We skipped that last time. And start checking. And Pablo, thank you for the feedback that we're missing. Spencer, thanks for checking on the chat. And Dylan, thanks for sending out the emails to make sure that everyone will have an account on Personal AI and will have a premium account. So the session is 2614. Stay with me if you have additional questions. Otherwise, we'll see each other on Wednesday and we'll work on our projects together. And also, I'll talk about business analytics with you as well. So stay with me if you have questions. Otherwise, 2614 is our check-in security. What's up, Franco?
Nothing, Professor. I was just checking in.
Okay,
you.
perfect. Did you check in?
good.
Everything's going? And
Yeah.
you have an idea with your group project, Franco?
Yeah. We have the fantasy football idea.
Okay, so start even
just have to-
working on it in the next couple of days so you can already I can give you some feedback for Wednesday.
Okay.
you guys.
All right.
You know what I
Sounds
mean? The
good.
more feedback, I want to be part of your group.
Yes.
Okay.
The more like if
The
you
more
were
the
on.
merrier.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you,
Okay.
Professor.